Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather is simply fabulous. It's mid-80s. It's a little humid, but it's the summer, so we'll take it. And as for the markets at a glance, yeah. I don't want to take a second glance because Dr. J got hurt. There was a week that was in terms of pot and biotech, but Dr. J is still high on pot and biotech. So despite the bad week, we'll live through it. We will reemerge victorious. I hope. I was having a little private conversation with Brooklyn, one of our viewers. We were DMing back and forth on stock twits, and I spotted CGC disintegrating in front of my eyes. I expressed that sentiment to her that the graph, that the stock is, the chart of the stock is going to hell. So I had to sell a little. I should have sold a lot. We're going to take a look at the charts of some of the big losers, some of the big winners. All together, I have 10 names I want to look at. We're going to look at Vice this week. We're going to look at pot stocks, beer stocks, well, and some biotech stocks, and of course the indices. So not all Vice, but a little Vice. So is Dr. J high on beer? No, Dr. J is higher on pot, but I'll take some beer too. By the way, do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Consult with an investment advisor should you want to follow my ideas. Occasionally I have some brilliant ideas and sometimes I have some clunkers. If anybody went along with my idea on CGC, you need a couple of buffering right now, because CGC cost me lots of do-re-mi and I'm hurting. But it was in the charts and I should have sold all. Instead I just sold some. We'll take a look. Okay, so this is what was in the charts. A solid wall right here at 38.38. And when it broke that on Friday, it should have been sell all instead of sell some. So I sold some. And now I am looking at the prospects of riding it all the way down to 20s. Maybe not 25, 26, but maybe someplace in this green candle, right about here. I don't know where right about here is, above 30 maybe, 31. So I think there's more pain to come in CGC. At this point, I'm going to hold because I didn't sell quick enough. I sold some, but not enough. So Dr. J will probably take what he sold and buy back right about this level, maybe a little bit higher. So maybe not much lower than the low of the day. 32 maybe, 31, if it gets there. Hope it doesn't. Okay, so I'm not optimistic. I respect that big red candle. I respect the close above this strong support wall. So certainly I think we're in for at least, another 5%. At least, like 2.5 more points at least. So I'm looking for about 32 to get back in, I guess. 31, 32. All right, and not that I'm out. I'm still in. I mean, if I don't add back those shares and go elsewhere with the money, that's okay too. But CGC is a market leader. I think probably what I thought was one of the two strongest pot stocks, Canadian pot stocks, Kronos and CGC, and they both took a big hit. I'm not going to bother showing the stock of Kronos, but Dr. J took it on the chin in both places. Tandem, another loser on the week. I guess the theme of this vlog is it time to buy some of these these big losers from last week, especially last Friday? And maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. But I have my eye on all of them that sold off on Friday that I like. And Tandem is one of them. Okay, so Tandem was looking really good back here, March 11th, when it hit a high of 75 bucks. Looking really good. It was looking like it was going to take out the old high of whatever. It's 80 bucks. So it didn't. It instead retreated to a low of 51 bucks, came back to test the upper range, the upper end of its trading channel, horizontal trading channel. Right now, with this sell-off on Friday, we're looking like we're close to the middle of its recent trading range. So if it comes back down to this area here, 59.60, Dr. J will be scraping together some dollars. So my idea is to buy at around 59 and change, something like that. Yeah, 59, 59.60. Somewhere in that vicinity. The low would be 59 and a quarter. So somewhere between 59 and a quarter, 59.75. It looks like a good entry point to Dr. J. I basically like the fundamentals here. I like the long-term prospects. Just like Roku, which when I looked at the chart, I said it's going to 100. My early instincts here, when right about February, I started talking about this when it was $52. I said, this looks like a beast. It looks like it's going to 100, a double. Well, it hit 80, pulled back to $51, and I think it's going to pull back now to 59. So, my opinion, good buying opportunity for Tandem. Okay. Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, InBev, budff. Do we like budff? I like the beer. I like Corona. I think they own that as well, right? I think they also have a deal with one of the big Canadian pot stocks, some kind of business relationship. Is it Tilray? I want to say Tilray, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. No, I'm not going to say I'm sure when I'm not sure. You can let me know in a comment. Is it Tilray that Anheuser-Busch has a business relationship with? Anyway, we're in a nice upward channel since the beginning of the year, 12/24. Beautiful upward channel. We hit a high on 415, 90 bucks, and we pulled back to a low of 80 bucks. Made a new high at 94 bucks, and now we're going to make a low that I think is going to be above the low of 527. So the low there was 81.17. I think we look to make a low very soon, probably right at this purple support line, 50-day moving average, 82.50. So Dr. J thinks that 82.50 would be an excellent entry point. Even a little bit higher than that, you use your own judgment. And where would I exit? Well, if I got it at 82.50, I wouldn't be a pig. I'd be looking for maybe resistance at the 100, at 96. That's not bad, 82 to 96, 14 points. That's, what is that? That's 10, about 17.5%. I'll take it. And I think it could happen quickly. I think you could see a move down to, let's say, the low of this green candle, 83.5. 83.5 might be a good place to come in, right here, 83.66. So you come in right about there. I think that could happen on Monday. And you look for that bounce back to the green line. So you're trading between the purple line and the green line. And remember what they are. This is the 50-day moving average. This is the 100-day simple moving average. So all it is you add up the last 100 days, the close, and divide by 100, and you got it. And that would be $96. Okay, let's take a look at, so I'm so far bullish on CGC with a further couple, looking to get in a little below where we are now. Same with Tandem, same with Budweiser. Stars did not have such a sell-off, but we'll look at it anyway. STZ, I call it Stars. It's not Stars. It's Constellation Brands. And of course, they have a lot of different beverages. I don't know the wide range that they own, but it's a pretty big company, as you can see. It's not as big as Anheuser-Busch. I think its market cap is 38 billion, maybe. I don't remember. But it's a fraction of what the market cap of Anheuser-Busch. I should mention that Anheuser-Busch pays a very, very nice dividend of about 2.5%. I think the dividend on Constellation Brands is less. I don't remember how much less, maybe $1.50. I mean 1.5%. Okay, so something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm guessing. I think I'm pretty close. This is a 200-day. This is a 50-day. This is a 100-day. So what's wrong with this picture? Well, obviously the 50 crossed the 100. We don't like that. That's a sign of weakness. So it went up a little bit more after that. And then it topped and it sold off drastically. So now we're looking for the 50 to come back up and cross the 100. And I think that's the direction we're going in. So, basically we had consolidation, which I think we broke out of to the upside. Let me draw that trend line right now, if I may. Give it a shot. All right, it's something like this. So we have a nice triangle. We figure base right about here. So if you draw a horizontal line, let's draw that horizontal line right in here. I'm just approximating these lines, but you can see that that we've come out of the triangle. and the consolidation period seems to be over. We had a nice big green candle coming out of it. We pulled back, and excellent entry point right about here. So we missed that entry point, but it's not too late. What's going to happen, I think, is we break through the upper channel, test the 100-day, a break of the 100-day, and she runs like crazy. So that's what I think and hope is going to happen here. The relationship to Canadian Pot on Constellation brand is that they own 35% of CGC, Canopy Growth. I think it's 35%. It's a significant number. And they did not like the way Canopy Growth management was moving. So they had enough influence and clout with 35% of the shares to remove the current CEO and go in other directions. So with Constellation Brands playing a very active role in the management of CGC, I actually am more bullish than ever on the long-term prospects of CGC. Constellation Brands doesn't want to lose on its investment in CGC. And that's one thing Constellation Brands has in common with Dr. J. Dr. J doesn't want to lose on his investment on CGC. Right now, I'm underwater. My average is, with what I sold, my average is still about 41. So I'm significantly underwater on CGC. On Kronos, I'm still ahead of my average, but not liking the recent action. And it doesn't matter that I'm ahead, because I'm ahead on this one, CVM. But I went from being ahead threefold to being ahead twofold. And that's not good. 20% down on Friday. A huge red candle, a Donald Trump red candle, a huge red candle. Not good, not a healthy sign. So what is this? Is this a leak of data? Is the data in and it's bad, and certain people know and certain people are selling? Well, that's what we all thought on the rundown to on 6.3 as low as 370. And obviously nobody knew as it ran all the way back up to 898, 899. And it actually had a triple top up here. So we now have solid resistance at 899. I think we will get another run to that 899 level and beyond. But this is an extremely volatile stock. Do you buy it on Monday? No, I don't think so. Even if you get a move up to, let's say, the 50, I think it'll go down by the end of the day or the end of the week. I think we find support at the 100, or roughly somewhere above the 100, somewhere within the range of this green candle on 613, low of 505, high of 599. So somewhere in here, maybe the open, which was 532. So if I were looking to add, which I am, I would be looking at 532, 535, somewhere around there. So Dr. J is looking to deploy more money on CVM, but at lower numbers. If it defies my expectations and actually goes up, so be it, I have enough. OCUL, I'm giving you a very narrow perspective on this because I'm not even talking about the fundamentals at all. I'm not talking about the tremendous optimism of Gert Kirsten, the CEO of CVM, on his multi-kind clinical trial that's been going on for years and years on head and neck cancer. And over 900 patients enrolled. Data due any minute, any week, any month, not year. We're talking maximum months. So the answer will be in. It'll either zoom up tenfold or go down to virtually zero. So, I mean, this is an all or nothing play. And it may not zoom up tenfold, it might zoom up fivefold, but it's going to move. If the data is really good, it's going to move like crazy. You're going to see fireworks out of CBM one way or the other. That's what Dr. J has to say. This is you're playing with fireworks when you're playing with CBM. This is a JD type of stock. Put your money on the pass line and let it ride. I don't know that JD has a position in it. Probably too smart to. Okay, let's take a look at Ocular the Ocular Therapeutix. This is a eye drop biotech eye company, EYE, not I. And it's gone through some bumping into strong resistance at the 539 level. Banging that 539 level only to fall back. But notice we are following the ascending trend line up. We have only a little bit more room to go before we hit the apex of that triangle. So one way or the other, we're going to break out. And Dr. J is betting, increased my bet actually, on Ocular Therapeutix, making $6 before it makes $5. So that's my bet. And of course, $5 is only 17 cents away. I'm not exactly a favorite of winning this bet, but I actually like my bet. But then again, I wouldn't make a bet if I didn't like the bet. So it's almost silly to say I like my bet. I like it so much that I added during the week at what price? I added at 505. And I really don't have a hard sell on this, but I'm not going to let it ride too much below $5. So I'm looking for 6 before 5. That's really what I'm looking for. All right, now I'm kind of excited about where we are with the indices. The Bitcoin I have to chart. I'm going to add that in. I'm going to look at the indices. 3 out of 4 between the Dow, the S&P, the RUT, and the NASDAQ 100 have made new highs on Friday. And guess which one hasn't? Of course, the one that Dr. J has the most riding on. I shouldn't talk that way. Dr. J has a lot of excellent ideas. So far, the RUT is not one of them, but it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Or as Yogi Berra amended it, it ain't over till it's over. I think that's how he amended it. All right, Dow Jones Industrial Averages. Yogi was a bit of a sage in his own way. He'll be missed, as will Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, all the Yankee greats, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, the likes of which we will never see again, I think. I mean, these are superheroes. They're like Batman and Robin. They're like Superman and Spider-Man or whatever. Superheroes. Yes, I'm more of a Met fan than a Yankee fan, but I certainly appreciate greatness. And when I was a kid, I was more of a Yankee fan. Okay, so here we have the Dow Jones breaking through to new all-time highs. Last week, I got excited because we broke through barely 26,966, breaking through by like 15 points to a new all-time high. Well, now we're 300 points above that. So 350 points above that with a close at the all-time high or very close to it. So we closed at 332. The high was 333. Last week I said, let's give the Dow a big hand for making highs. Another high. This is Dr. J applauding the Dow Jones Industrial Averages. I've been calling for new highs for a long time, going back to the beginning of the year. Dr. J says we're going to make new highs, and we finally started making new highs on the Dow, and I'm convinced we'll continue making them all the way to 30,000 and above. I called for a melt up, and I still think we're going to get that melt up. In other words, you ain't seen nothing yet, baby. All right, S&P 500. Do we have Powell to thank? Well, maybe a little bit. Do we have Trump to thank? Well, maybe a little bit. Somebody, when things go right, you got to give the number one guy a nod. Despite if you think badly of him in other respects, that's fine. But the stock market is liking whatever his policies are. So you can think what you like of the man. I'm not telling you to like him. I'm not telling you he's a great person. But I'm telling you the stock market seems to be in love with Donald Trump and his economic policies. The Fed has been very dovish, very accommodative, and that's partly due to his urging. I mean, he's a very, let's say, forceful individual, and if he's even remotely your boss, it's tough to push back against him. And I think that's what happened with Powell. I think Powell folded under pressure. I mean, I would, because what the heck, a quarter point cut, save my job, save my neck. Yeah, I'm in. I mean, you can justify that quarter point either way. You could say, don't cut or cut. I might as well say cut, make Trump happy and keep my job. And will there be another cut? You betcha, because for the same reason. I mean, this guy is going along. He doesn't want to be removed and become just another Fed governor. Allow that not yet newly appointed woman, the MBA, I forgot her name, that Trump is going to nominate as a voting member of the Fed, somebody who certainly supports rate cuts and supports his economic views, even supports the gold standard, very radical thinker. Okay, so what have we here? We have, guess what? New highs. And excuse me if I don't remember her name. I'm sure someone will write a comment. And please fill me in on the name of Trump's new recommendation to the Federal Reserve, which I believe has to be approved. Has not yet been approved. There's two of them. One is a woman, one is a man. And it's a woman who's waiting in the wings to take over for Powell, should Powell not play ball with Trump. That's Dr. J's theory. Of course, my opinions are strictly my own. I told you that a million times. And that's the truth. I don't discuss my opinions with anybody but you guys and girls. and ladies and men. All right, anyway, so we have a beautiful ascending channel. We have you can draw a parallel to this if you like, but it's narrowing. So the narrowing would imply that we're coming to an apex. I think we make new highs at about 3,039, and then either break sharply up or pull back a little. It doesn't matter. We're very, very bullish here. The S&P deserves a round of applause. Let's hear it for the S&P. Now, you may think that Dr. J is being very infantile, applauding the averages. Okay, maybe you're right. The NASDAQ 100, up 46 points, 0.59% to yet another new all-time high. I think we have to chart it. Let's take a look, full screen, loading. And oh, we're high in the sky. We're flying with the NASDAQ. Oh, beautiful. New high 2 days earlier. New high back here on 7/5. That was Friday. New high back here on 7/1. That was Monday of last week. Series of new highs. Beautiful. And of course, higher lows as well. So we are flying in the NASDAQ 100, being led higher by Apple, being led higher by Amazon. The NASDAQ has resumed its leadership, no doubt about it. Up 0.59% on Friday. Finally, let's look at the laggard, my rut. Of course, I have more money in the rut than I do proportionately in any of the other three averages. Via ETFs and via funds like Vanderbilt funds. So via these vehicles, Dr. J has a disproportionate amount on the rut, and I'm getting disproportionately less returns. The rut has to take out the high on 5/6, 16/18/37 before it's off to before it will attack and make new highs. I mean, that would not be a new high, but that would be a starting point. Before that, it has to take out on 7/1, 1586. 1586 would be the first target. Okay, the good news is we had a decent day on Friday. We were up 0.78%, even more than the S&P. So I can't complain too much. 1570, that's a lot more than my entry point was. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I may not be in the best performing index, but I'm still making money. We are following the 100-day up. We would like to see this straighten out a little bit. When I say straighten out, I mean the 50 is between the 100 and the 200. We want to see this turn up and cross over the 100. That would portend a huge run. Dr. J's contention is the rut will outperform the other three indices in the second half. So far, it hasn't happened, but the second half is far from over. So I promised you Bitcoin. To do that, let me just type it in. I'm going to overlay the rut and just type it right in here. Or, yeah, I guess well, I could do it this way. Take a look at it that way. Do I have the right symbol? No, I don't think so. I think I messed up again. Let's try this. BTC BTC-USD. That's right. Okay, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin was, what was it last Friday? I'm not even sure I remember. Why is, I hit an ad? Wonderful. I don't know what I did. I don't know how this came up, but we're going to get rid of it because TD Ameritrade is not paying Dr. J to advertise their site. So that's gone. Okay, Bitcoin. Remember last week we were looking at the weekly chart, the day-by-day chart of the week, and it's had a tremendous, I don't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, we were looking at it right about here. It dipped below the low that it put in on 626, 10,335, which gave people pause on 630 and 7.1 because that is a major low. You don't want to close below that low. Both days it went below, put its toes in the water, and sprang back. This spring back action is very bullish. So there's no surprise that we continue to move up through 7.9, and now actually through 7.9, we went as high as 13,183. And where did we close for the week? On 7/13, we had a low of 10,827. We closed down 8% to 10,896. That's not a terrific number, but this is an extremely volatile instrument. And the fact that it held this low solidifies this low in my mind. So I think 10,335 will stand, and you'll probably get another run, even though this is a lower low than we put in on 625. We have, a lower high. So we have a high from 625, a lower high on 7.9. I see us getting a higher low than what we made on 7.1, 9,678. In fact, I see that low being higher than 10,335. So I think we put in a low, maybe as early as Monday or Tuesday, of something around 10,400, 500. I mean, this thing is unbelievable swing. So if I'm talking 500 points below where we are now, that's nothing. So if we put in a low there and start moving back up, I think this is very likely to reverse. I mean, right now it looks like we could be trending down. It's not clear. We have this high right here, and we have what looks like the beginning of a trend line here. And we have what looks like what could be a long period of consolidation between this descending line and this horizontal line. I mean, that's certainly possible. The trading range for Bitcoin has been ridiculous. So if it comes in a little to a low of 10,003 and a high and a declining high, that's okay, because eventually we should break out of this and start moving up again. Maybe even you draw a triangle this way and you get there a lot quicker. So I mean, that's possible too. So let's just draw that triangle in. So we could have a triangle that looks like this, and then it would resolve by the end of the month, hopefully to the upside for those who are playing it long. And if I'm betting on this, I'm not betting against it. Bitcoin looks like it's got a lot of headwinds, not tailwinds, headwinds. I don't understand what they are because Dr. J absolutely has no idea what makes this thing go up or down, but the chart is telling me that it looks pretty doggone good still. JD might expound as to why Bitcoin goes up or it goes down. I mean, I'm bewildered by it, just as I am by gold. I have no idea why gold goes up and down. Sometimes it goes up because the dollar is stronger. Sometimes it goes up because the dollar is weaker. I mean, I give up. I can't figure out gold. I can't figure out Bitcoin from a fundamental point of view. So I just look at the chart on this. The chart is pretty damn good. I'm not playing it. It's too rich for my blood. It's too wild for my blood. But for those of you who like to play this kind of thing, you got my blessing, I guess. Not that you need it. So it's been really fun chatting with you guys. Please write comments. I'm going to stop sharing, try to get back to the camera, see if I can. Sometimes I can. Most of the time I can. Sometimes I can't. I have a lot of windows open. We'll see. All right, we're trying to get back. I see the blue circle and the camera is lit. Camera, show me. Yes, we did. So don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends about us, give me a thumbs up. Join our small but elite family of friends. We have a bunch of people that have been very loyal to Dr. J and following me on just about all my vlogs, and I really appreciate that. I'm going to take a quick look at the phone and see if anybody is still on live. I'm sorry I forgot to look earlier. Oh, yeah, Anthony is on. And hey, Anthony, how you doing? Shout out. Oh, I forgot to shout out to Allison. Allison gave me a very interesting stock. I totally blanked it out, Allison. Next time, I promise. Meanwhile, I hope you're doing well with it. Greg is on. JD is on. Sean Jan is on. And so on. And Vaskin is on. Bunch of you are on. Hey to all of you. Sorry I didn't get to the chats earlier, so I could have chatted with you better, but at least I remembered at this point. It's been a long vlog. So this is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York. I want to say sayonara, au revoir, arrivederci, ciao, shalom. What else? Hasta la próxima semana. I think that means see you next week. But if I can, I'll sneak it in one during the week. Adios, amigos. How's that?